Carbohydrates are making you 10 times slower. But before I get into all that, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ahsan Burke, and I am a fitness enthusiast that wants to help beginners get out of their comfort zones when it comes to taking care of their health by showcasing my own fitness journey in present time so you can learn through my mistakes and my learnings. Now, coming back to the video, I was a few weeks into my bulk. I noticed that I was constantly feeling fatigued and tired and a lot more sleepy than normal. I knew that when you do intake a lot of carbs, this does cause you to blow and you get a brain fog, but I wasn't aware that actually it causes a spike in insulin, which is the reason why you feel this whole fatigue and tiredness in the first place. So in this video, I want to talk about some of the misconceptions that people have when it comes to carbohydrates. It is said that carbs are the major fuel source for your body when it comes to calories, and most of your calories should be consistent of carbs. But how do carbs actually work? So we know that they're the body's main fuel source, but the way they work is that they get broken down into glucose, which is essentially sugar. And when sugar runs in your bloodstream, that spikes your insulin levels, which causes you, like I said before, to feel more fatigued and tired naturally. A major misconception I want to talk about when it comes to bulking, or at least misconception that I had, was that you need to intake lots of carbs so you can reach your calorie surplus threshold. What I was doing is I would wake up in the morning and the first thing I'd eat is a bagel and 2 peanut butter sandwiches. This was 250 calories in the bagel alone, 90 calories in the cream cheese that I put inside it. Then the sandwiches was 180 calories for one serving of peanut butter. I was taking two, so that was about 360 calories. Then on top of that, 130 for each pair of bread. So 130 times 2, that was about 260 calories from that. Altogether, this was coming to about 980-ish calories altogether. This was at like 6 a.m. too, so you know that throughout the day I was gonna feel a lot more tired than usual. And I was gonna go through lots of brain fog, which I did. And this was a major mistake that I did, which I wouldn't want anybody else to make, because I was dirty bulking. But even when you are dirty bulking, you still need to follow a certain threshold of what percentage of calories you need to intake in the form of carbs, in the form of protein, and in the form of fats. So based off my current research, it is suggested that 45% to 65% of your daily intake consists of carbohydrates, but I promise you, 65% of carbs, even for a bulk, let alone for just a regular day, is way too much. And this is why, by the way, because if let's say you're intaking 65% of your calories in the form of carbs, and you need about 20% of your calories in the form of fats, that leaves you with only 15% for protein, which is obviously not enough even for just a regular person who is not exercising or on a bulk like I was. So in my opinion, and this doesn't have to be the be all thing for everybody, but this is what I think would be probably a little bit better than what is suggested online, is that try to get like 40% of your intake in the form of carbs, 40% in protein, and the remaining 20% in fats is okay. We can even change that up a little bit where 42% of it is in the form of protein, 42% in the form of carbs, and the remaining 18% in the form of fats, because fat, basically, you need that, but what that does is it increases your subcutaneous fat, which is the fat that is on the outside layer of your abdominals. What carbs does is it increases your visceral fat. That is the type of fat that causes you to bloat. And to lose that fat is a lot easier than subcutaneous fat. What you have to do to lose visceral fat is just go on a brisk walk every day and just take about 10,000 steps daily, and you should be okay on a bulk. The other thing I want to talk about, which would be for another video actually, is misconception around bulking, where people try to just binge on food and don't take care of their cardio, but actually it's quite important that you are having a weekly cardio session, if not daily cardio session, when you are bulking, because you need to keep your cardiovascular health in check. Just because you're growing muscle and your goal is to gain weight does not mean that the cardiovascular health is not important anymore. No, if you do that, then when you come off a bulk and you're cutting, you're gonna have a really hard time in cutting that fat and keeping up with all the pace that you need in order to cut efficiently. Thank you for watching. Inshallah, I'll see you in the next one.